All right, hey everyone. I hope I am audible, and welcome to this another stream. And thanks everyone for joining. Hi, my name is Arsalan. I am known as Khatak Dev on the internet. I work for MRH Fellowship, which is basically 12 weeks of program in alternative to traditional internships at MRH Fellowship. We help the fellows to get a chance to work on real world projects, and we help partners like Amazon, Meta, GitHub, etc. Today's stream is more for today's stream is for students. So if you are a campus student and want to know how to utilize your time at campus, this one is for you. So we have some guests here. I am going to add that in just a second, who are basically community leaders, and they did some amazing work as a student, and they're going to help you today to figure out what you need to do as a campus student to make your life. To the things that you need to do that will eventually help you when you get out of the college. So yeah, here we have some awesome people, some awesome faces. We have Kartike, Zainab, and Ravinia. So I just did my quick introduction, and I am gonna hand it over to maybe Zainab. If you can start first with your quick introduction, and then you can pick someone else.
Yes, hi. Good morning, evening, afternoon from where you are joining. So I'm Zainab. I'm from Sri Lanka, and I'm at my second year. I'm just getting into my semester exams, end of semester exams. I was one of the MLH Top 50 2022. I'm currently following my prep fellowship and applying for the main fellowship on for the summer. Yeah, send in questions on what you think I can answer, and glad to be in this stream and great folks in the stream. Lavina, can you go next?
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Lavinia. I'm currently a GitHub campus expert and I'm a master student at Universidade Federal de Pernambuco in Brazil. So it's a pleasure to be here. I joined some Major League Hacking's hackathons and I enjoy most of hackathons. I also have a hackathon myself called Hack Girl and I'm excited to see the questions today and I'll pass to Kati.
Yeah, thanks, Levina. Hey, folks. My name is Karthike. I'm from India, and you can say I'm graduated from my bachelor's of engineering. So, really excited to meet you all. I'm a GitHub campus expert, and I've been into GitHub through maybe you can say Hackon and GitHub Field Day India. I'm also been in the organizing team at GitHub Field Day India, Delhi region, and I also visited for the Bangalore region. So, really excited to share my journey. And if you have any doubts and queries, do let me know, and I guess go back to the Arslan maybe. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction. So, I am pretty sure the audience have now the very good idea of who are these awesome people. So let's maybe dig more into the introduction part, and if we can go through how did you all started into doing the community work in the like all of you are in some of the communities, for example, that is either MRS, that either GitHub, either like for example Karthik has his own community. So I'm curious to know, how did you all started your community in the college? Was it like you just randomly found it, someone referred that to you, or you were searching for that, which was in my case? I was searching for some communities that I can join, and I found about GitHub. I was actually rejected 2 times from GitHub Education, GitHub Campus Expert program. But yeah, so if maybe Gavin, yeah, we can start with you. How did you started? What were the communities that you were part of, and where are you right now?
Yes, so actually, when I'm doing my bachelor's on computer science, I need to do a final thesis, and I was sure to make in diversity field because we don't have many different phases in the graduation in computer science. So I talked with my professor that was helping my thesis, that was Kiev, and he says that I should do probably about hackathons. And then I said, okay, I'll probably try to make a hackathon focused on women. And then I found my friend Natalia walking in the university, and she said she also wanted to do a hackathon. So then we founded HackGirl, and with that project, we did the first hackathon, and I applied to the GitHub education program for GitHub Campus Expert. And then GitHub gave me support, training to continue working with the community. And my master is also in this team as well. So was a coincidence by seeing the field, but everything went end up really in the community and try to bring new faces in tech.
This is cool. This is cool. What about you, Kartike? How did you start it, and how did you? I'm more curious to know about your own community. How did you started that?
Yeah, so my journey is a little bit on, you can say, struggle kind of thing. Maybe everyone have our own struggles. So when I kicked this my community off, so I got that actually I have, first of all, I have no sense of community when I know I started off. Like I think of it's a kind of a small group where I and some of my folks are interacting about tech stuff, and we thought it's just a small group. And when I interacted, wherever I go, I just shared, like, I didn't know about community stuff, but there is one folk from MLH, Aditya Oberoi, who's an MLH coach. He got me into community, and he got me exactly what is the meaning of community, you can say. And from that point, I think of, let's get started from the own thing, because our college, or you can say our campus, is from very 2 to 3 tier city in India, and we have lack of opportunity over there. We didn't access to many things. And from that point of view, I started off my own community, which is previously known as devs2com. Those who are in MLH local Hackdale, and I guess during COVID period, I guess they know our maybe guild, maybe because we are in the top 3 guilds on that point, and we didn't get how we become in a top 3 guild. We are really surprised on that point. So from that point, like, our community started engaging over that point, and we thought of, can we help more folks around this thing, because I interacted in my campus in general, also in community members around that, what they are lacking actually. But at the end of the day, that what I got, like, they are lacking in opportunities, even though yeah, Kunal Kushwaha is one of the example that I see to it in terms of community. He's also one of the, you can say, community pusher to me, because when I started off, I guess I am in my second or third year, I guess, maybe. And he get me into his one of the community, that is Code for Cause, and he started sharing about the opportunities like MLS fellowship, GitHub campus expert programs, and you can say Microsoft Learn student ambassador on that point. So from that point, he stated me community is more to giving back to them. So on that point, I thought of, let's start sharing this stuff to my juniors or my community members who are there. So from that point, I think of, let's try to work more on thing. And for that, we are also working for the high schooler students in my region through our community. One of the initiative, that is Code Day. So we are doing for high schoolers now, and like, it's in the process, but we are more focused on to work on our high schooler community also to build, because high schooler, that what we thought in India, they are not more focused around the tech community and coding stuff. So we are also doing that. So yeah, you can say this is my small journey, you can say. Yeah.
That is really cool and inspiring. Last but not the least, Zainab.
Yeah, hi. So I started my community journey this year. That's no, actually last year. Last year around May. Yeah, around May. I was going through YouTube tutorials. We all know YouTube tutorials are the savior of trying to get concepts, to learn concepts and learning to build projects, right? So I came across Kunal's channel, Kunal Kushwaha, and he kept on mentioning about MLH, and I was like, I kept reading this word called hacking, And I was like, that's way out of my league, no pun intended. But I felt like, okay, hacking, hackathons, that's not what I can do. I don't have the strength to do that or the skill level. But I don't know. Somehow I ended up in my first hackathon. It was Athena Hacks, and I had a wonderful experience. So there were four girls who were all across the world, different time zones, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, and we were just building a project, right? And that was our first hackathon. All for all of us, that was our first hackathon. And it just was mind blowing, the entire experience, that through different time zones we are still building. And that was the first time I heard about Twilio, because it was a MLH member event, a hackathon. So Twilio, great technology. So I started using that. Was the first, I didn't even know how to pronounce Twilio. So I started using it, and everyone was so kind. They were so kind. They were so kind, helpful, and like every single details they went on to say, explain everything. And I was like, wow, this level of kindness and just community, and it was overwhelming. Like. Regardless of where you live, everything, different ethnicity, different background, different culture, and we are just together building one project. And I was just going on from there, participating in as much hackathons I can. MLH became my second home from Global Hack Week, so I'm relatively new, because Global Hack Week, I was not there when there was local Hack Day. I came late into the scene, so yeah. So Global Hack Weeks and office hours. I'm now organizing a hackathon. So yeah, it's just like you go from one step to another. And I'm like trying to get into GitHub Campus Expert. So Arsalan, I get you when you said rejected 2 times, because I also been rejected 2 times. Third time is probably the luck. So yeah, hoping for that. Yeah, that's about my journey.
Awesome. Hopefully, you will be able to get into the program in the third time. And I kind of have the similar experience with the MLH. So when I currently work as a full-time at MLH, but I started by joining MLH as a fellow. And when I first found out about fellowship, I thought that there is no way I can get into this program, because there is going to be too many awesome people, and there is no way for me to get into this program. But somehow I got into it. Probably luck, you can say. Uh, anyway, so all right. Moving on to the next thing is, this is if I'm not gonna. Oh, hold on. So we have a new person right here, and that person is Rahil.
Hey,
Hi, Rahil.
hello everyone. Sorry for getting late. I was just stuck in this electricity issue at my place. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Rahil, for joining. Maybe you can start with a quick introduction, and then we can move on towards the questions part.
Okay. So hello everyone. It's so nice to see you all. So my name is Rahil. I am from Pakistan, Karachi, and I have been a GitHub campus expert for now an year right now. We did like really cool events in Pakistan, especially in Karachi, and we hosted the first field day in Pakistan as well. It was like really cool. I hope we have to discuss about that as well. In this stream. And yeah, I'm right now a backend engineer at this company called Cargo Base. They are actually based in Singapore, and so yeah, I've been working remotely with them from Karachi, and it's been really good. So yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So when someone joins a campus for the first time, uh, the one of the thing, of course, there's something that I was struggling as well, is most of them have no idea about the roadmap, where to go next, what to do, what are the things that they need to do. some of us are very lucky. Like we sometimes we have a good friend. For example, Karthik mentions that Kunal was one of the person who helped him a lot. But sometimes we come up with some good resources. Sometimes we have some seniors with us, someone in the family, etc. But sometimes there are people who have no idea about that, who do not have any connections, no idea about where to go, no idea about where to research, or have any friends like that. So, what do you folks think? What is the roadmap for a complete beginner, someone who has no idea where to start, someone who is not exactly sure what other communities are, what communities exist? What do you suggest to those people? Anyone can unmute themselves and uh, say if anyone has anything.
Maybe I can go because I can relate to this question very much. If I'm talk about my journey in that sense, I didn't know about community, but even I go to those places, those who are community events, but I didn't know actually it's the community meetups. So there is a nearby city called Raipur, and there is a community called Facebook Developer Circle Raipur. Previously, before the COVID, and I go for that, and I didn't know actually it's a community, because exactly the terms when we say community, I didn't know much about that. So how I got this, sometimes it can happen like we have some friends, or maybe some friends who are from other colleges, and maybe they are going and they're just putting that thing on your maybe WhatsApp status or Instagram kind of thing. So many a times when we see, if you I'm not saying in the first year, or you can say in the freshman year only, you got the all resources entangled with that. Sometimes if you can search around internet, you can. And if you can talk with some people, I guess there will be a community. In case maximum time it happens, like one or a small community will be there in your region. In case you are not able to get it, then you can maybe join. You can say the, I guess MLS Discord server is one of the best server, you can say. You can hang out, because when we say, there is a organizer hangouts also going on. If you want to interested to do, you can say hackathon. So they have a every, I guess, every monthly, and like that they have a like proper discussion around that. And you can get, if you want to understand the whole workflow about the community, that is also one of the, you can say, resources. And if what I will say in general, there is a platform called meetup.com, I guess. And you can search around, just pin down your city, or like maybe a state or region, and you just search out, is there any meetup is going on, any meetup that you can connect with that, and try to join that meetup for once, and have a connect with the organizers over there, how you are doing, can I able to do in my campuses, and like that. And start doing little by little. And from that you can get, like, even though I guess in the stream also we have got a topic of networking, I guess. Maybe networking is a very core part of community, and which I got into it. I got a lot of people, like Arsalan, only from that thing, like just from the networking thing. So again, when we say when we say in the developer advocacy stuff, the podcasting is one of the core part when we are advocating any product kind of thing. So if you can do that, because on my time there is whole COVID happened. So what I did to interact with amazing folks, I start doing podcasting thing with them. And after, you can say, 5 to 10 minutes, I just talk in just to create a personal relationship between them, to understand like how they build this thing, or how they creating impact in community from that thing, and how I can do that, or maybe from their mistake, can I implement that stuff that they can't able to do that on that very moment. So maybe, yeah, that's kind of, you can say, my roadmap, you can say. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Anyone else on this?
Yeah, I like to add another thing. So when you're starting out, the thing is, one thing you have to keep remembering is you're staying in the comfort zone is not gonna get you anywhere. So we'll say you're currently at a stage where everything feels good, everything. I'm not saying you go ahead and make things miserable to yourself, but if there's nothing that's challenging you, there's no growth, there's no progress. So always try to, even where you are now, right? Whatever situation, whatever community you are now, if you feel like things are just going in a way that there's no challenge to you, then there is always a place for improvement. So we have viewers here. I mean, if you are tuning in, if you heard about MLH, that's like a great way, right? Um, One thing you have to remember is always keep moving, because we are in the tech community. Tech is something evolving. Like within few years, we've come up to this stage, right? So keep learning, keep going. And another thing is keep applying. There's so many opportunities out there. Just keep applying. You don't, and there is no specific roadmap. There's no specific pathway. Like if you follow this, you will get to this point. There's always other by routes you can go to. Just because you don't follow one person's roadmap doesn't mean you're any wrong. Just keep going, keep working, and yeah, that'll be my take on it.
Great advice, and I think we have some fans of you, Zainab, in the chat. Cool. So moving on. So um, something I have personally experienced is a lot of folks come to me and asking, "Hey, how can I start my own community?" Whereas they, and these are those people, not all of them, but most of them are those people who do not have enough experience or have not spent enough time in other communities. So maybe someone who is a freshman, or someone who's a sophomore but not having enough community experience. Now I get the feeling of people being very excited about starting their own community, but what are your advice on that, on for those people? Should Do you think they should actually start their own community, or they should stick to the existing one? If you think they should stick to the existing one for some time, what are some of the benefits that you think that why do you think that they should stick to that for some time? Anyone who wants to take on this?
I can take this one because I also started my own
Yeah,
community.
I would like
So,
to.
oh, can you go, Raheel? Oh, I go. Okay, I will go this
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think you should go.
Yeah, but one thing that is kind of hard to start their own community is like people are doing this voluntarily. You are not paying anyone, you are trying to bring things to the community, but you are mostly doing for free. Like right now, I have the GitHub Campus Expert program that can help in many ways, like resources, training. But when I started, I didn't have anything. So one point is that you're gonna do a lot of work for free. You're gonna spend your time in your community, and sometimes it's hard to have like appreciation for your work. So, for example, you are doing a hackathon, you have prizes, but something can go wrong, and people often will point these mistakes and not all the work that you did that went right. So one point of joining a community is probably because people have experienced before, and usually they track in a document and the previous experience, or in a postmortem when they show what went wrong and what we did and why this is not happening again. So it's important for you, if you are starting a community, it's gonna have a lot of frustration when things go right. You're gonna feel a lot of acknowledgement and feel people growing with you, which is really great as well.
Awesome. I think here you also had something to say on this. Looks like he is stuck. Let's give him a minute.
I
All
think
right.
he moved, but he's freezing.
Yeah, yeah, he's stay freezed. Okay, so we can. This is one of the issue that happens with me sometimes as well. I missed a couple of streams because of this, uh, which is why sometimes I hate StreamYard. Um, but anyways, I guess he is still freeze, so we can come back to him later on once his internet is working. A StreamYard got fixed. All right, so moving on to the next thing is, so there's this one, I believe, for me this is one of the misconception, but I see many of the people, from my personal experiences, I do not find this actually to be the case. um, there are some people that think that being a technically sound person, being technically good in XYZ language can help you to get into these communities. Uh, if you're someone that is very good with know how to work with Git and GitHub, now that is something that's going to definitely help you with getting into these communities. Whereas what I found from my experiences, that's not actually the case. But having more of a soft skills like engagement, leadership, communication, and those kind of things is something that helps you to get into these communities. I'm curious to know what are your take. What do you folks think about this? Do you think the technical skills is more important, or the soft skills are more important for communities? Um, Anyone?
Yeah, can you repeat the question because my internet is not going
Sure. So
really
I
really
was asking to
good.
some. Sure. Can you hear me now? All right. So yeah, I was asking about some people thinks that being a technically sound person, being good at XYZ language can help you to get into these programs or these communities. Whereas from my personal experience, I found that soft skills like in leadership, communications, those kind of things, time management, etc. Those kind of skills are the things that you need to get into these communities. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I would like to add my experience in that actually. So actually, you are right that teaching matters a lot, and not for these programs, but in your professional life as well. Like if you're getting a job or maybe a technical job, and maybe like two applicants are applying, and then one is really really good technically, and you're not really good, but you know that how to communicate and how to present yourself. So it is like a really major plus point because most of the big companies are looking towards that a person who is a team player and who can communicate really really well, because he might not be a really good and sound technical person, but he can learn if he's a team player and can communicate with everyone really really easily. So yeah, these things matter a lot, and for these programs, yeah, this is like a kind of stereotype with the students that you have to be really really sound person. You have to solve like at least 1,000 questions on lead code or something like that. So it's not a thing. But yeah, like you know about technical stuff, and you're passionate about learning, and you're passionate about helping others as well, or other professionals. So you're good to go. You are already a leader. So yeah, this is something that you should consider as well.
Awesome, awesome. I totally agree with you about the job aspect as well. I think Zainab, you have some points as well on this.
Yes. Okay, so I completely agree what Rahil said about even if you have if you have technical skills, yeah, and your goal is to like get in a really good placement, really good job, those leadership soft skills are as necessary because we are living in now in an evolving world where we need to communicate and make sure everything we work as a team, right? If you think that you're good in technical skills and that alone is enough, that's not gonna get you far. So being in these communities will say you identify, okay, my technical skills are good but my soft skills are not as good. That's where during this college period you can join in so many communities, right? So either way, you need the soft skills to get a better job placement. And at the same hand, having those technical skills is going to be a plus point in the sense you get to help people, you get to talk about your experience in a specific technology, you get to use the technology, you get to contribute. So both work hand in hand, and you have to continue working on developing both. That's going to get you far in both aspects, in your we'll say DevRel, or even we'll say in development, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Moving on. So we are talking a lot of, we are talking about communities, and we also just talked about programs, different programs. So what are some of the communities or some of the programs out there that you folks recommend joining? Maybe Kartike, you can answer this.
Yeah, sure. Some of the programs that I can refer, like one of the program is like GSOC. I be a part of that, and one of the best experience for me on that thing. More on it, even though I tried for MLS fellowship, but I didn't do that. But I prefer go for the MLS fellowship also. It's one of the great space you can be there and to learn more on that thing. More on it, you can be a part of student ambassador programs. Just to, like, if I just name it, like GitHub Campus Expert is one of the program you can be there. Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador is also a great platform, because I'm also been there. I like, if you are a MLSA, you got $100 credit by the Azure. If you're a student, you can use it, you can like work around it. If you are if you get GitHub student, I guess GitHub student pack, so you have a whole access of different hosting services, like n number of, if you will search it around, you can see a many thing, and you can use it. You can blend, make, maybe you can the Microsoft Azure thing to deploy stuff, and you're building your projects. It can be this is one thing, I guess. This is one of the, I guess, best thing is Bootstrap Studio is available for you. If you have a student pack, you just play around with that. If you want to understand, to deep dive into the, you can the front end style. If you want to for the back end stuff also, I guess there is a lot of opportunity. Even though you are not in directly intact with the program, but you can use those resources as a student. So it just you need a student ID actually. If you're just college ID or student ID, just to use that thing. And more about it, if you are I'm an open source folk, so I try to prefer to say go for the open source thing. Keep contributing in big open source project. That also helps you in to basically to get the insight of engineering side also. Many folks like in the previous question that we talk about, the, you can say, the soft skill, that is really important. um, I guess one of the podcasts, Kelsey Hightower says this: there is no hard skill, there is no soft skill, there is just skills. You have to acquire every skills. So to understand the whole scenario, I just want to say, try to understand each technology, try to explore as much as you can. Also try to do some leadership thing, because sometimes, like, you, if you are in a hackathon, or if you are leading a hackathon first time, that's also great opportunity for you. If you can handle those 5 to 6 people or 4 to 5 people, that also a big milestone according to me, because leading a team is never easy. I can say or bet on my personal experience that thing. So if you can handle that thing, that's also you can say you are unlocking an achievement in your life, you can say. And it's also help in your career. It's not just for this thing or community thing, but it's also for help on that basis. So and LFX mentorship is one of the program that you can aspire, you can apply for. It's not for only for students, it can open for all. Even though if you say GSOC, those who are into technical documentation, you can go for Google season of docs. If you want, it's specifically focused on a technical documentation. That's all. It's, again, when we say open source is not just about coding, it's about community and collaboration. So yeah, some of that's my resources, you can see, you can check it out. Yeah.
Those are really great resources and programs. And by the way, my favorite thing from GitHub Student Pack is the front end master subscription. If anyone is into front end, they should definitely check out the front end masters. Cool. Yeah, again, these are really great resources. Moving on, so I think all of us have spent a very good number of time in the communities. And so what would you take a different approach if you were to start all over again? I mean, is there anything that you think you did and you should have not done that, or you should have done that in a very different way? If, let's say, you're to start this again, like if you somehow time travel back 2 years or 3 years, what are the things that you would prefer not to repeat, or what are the things you would prefer not to do it in a different way? uh Maybe Gahir, Lavinia, on this.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
go ahead, Hayo. This time I'll give my
okay. Yeah, I'll go first this time. Okay. So this actually really an interesting question. But yeah, so what I would try to do differently, like so I had a plan to host a hackathon as a student. uh, as a student you have like a lot of time, you are not like working really professionally, so you can manage things accordingly, and maybe you can uh, uh, spend your time in the campus accordingly. So I would like more work towards creating a tech culture in my campus if I were able to repeat these steps again. But yeah, this was thing. And yeah, one another thing that is the MLH fellowship. I haven't applied to the MLH fellowship, and I got the GSOC opportunity, by the way, which I didn't take because I was like really busy with a lot of things. So I would try to like focus on few less things if I have to try these all again. So and prioritize accordingly. Like as Kartiki mentioned the program, so these are like one of the prioritized program that a student should follow. So yeah, I would definitely go towards that path.
Over to you, Gavinia.
I would probably try to join a community early in my college life, because when I joined the campus, I felt very lost and I didn't feel identify with anyone in my class. I was sometimes the only woman in the room, and was kind of bad. And when I see right now the community that I joined, the community that I have as well, I'll probably search for that in the beginning. And also, I will try to get accepted in the MHL fellowship. I got in the waiting list in the first batch, and the second time I was not accepted. So probably I should try again if I had time. But yeah, that's is the things that I probably um I wanted to do differently.
Cool, cool, awesome. Before we move on to the next question, for all of the people who are watching us, if in case you have any question that is either about communities, either about being a campus student, either about career stuff, anything like that, feel free to ask that in the chat, and we will ask that we will discuss that questions, those questions as well. Um, so this question is probably makes sense if I ask you, Karthik, because you have your own community. So what are some of the activities, or what are some of the things that you do to keep your community engaged?
Yeah, so first of all, I treating my communities like my startup. It's a like many people like go against in like in some context, but like yeah, you have empathy, but you have to, if you are a community leader, you have to think like you are an entrepreneur, because you have to keep engaging that thing again. Like community is your product, you can say. Cool. So first of all, try to take feedbacks from the community, talk to community members, actually those who are part of it. Many people, what I see when as a many community managers, they didn't think, they just do events or activities, even don't bothering about they like those people know to like suppose if someone if maybe there's a community manager of maybe suppose MongoDB, but they didn't know the basic stuff about the database management thing. So if they go to directly to the advanced level of the, you can say, database integrity kind of thing, so they can't able to understand that thing. So for me, taking first of all, talk to people, talk to your talk to your community members. What kind of they like, suppose if I started off my new community, like suppose I'm starting from scratch, and if I will say, first of all, I will go to them and talk to them, maybe through Google Forms. I will take some feedbacks or anything, like if like 90% in my community, if like very you can say beginners, so how I can get started with. So maybe my getting started with, you can say, the giving them the basic knowledge about basic thing, you can say front end, back end, you can say app development, UI UX, designing stuff, product management, you can say, and like lots of things. And in case if I know they have know the basic knowledge of everything, so how so I can start with the version control system, that is Git and GitHub kind of thing, then jumping to the different session, maybe more focus on the front end frameworks kind of thing, and just giving an example to that. So I will just say try to take feedbacks. And when we say the activity and engagement, talk to your like GitHub helps me this thing in GitHub Campus Expert. If you are been in a Campus Expert training modules, they know they have proper structure by each by one by one. You can say about the leadership thing, how to structuring your team, all this stuff. So it also helps you to basically to transfer your leadership from one generation to another generation. And it's really important, if you are leading a community and if you're not thinking in a long term perspective, that can be a wrong, because your community will never exist like after 2 to 3 years, or like maybe 4 to 5 years. So you have to think like a leader, proper leader. If you're creating your community, you're adding value to those people who are being a part of that. And to make that thing, you have to create your own team, and transferring one by one. Even I guess there is a one of the MLS 50 top 50, one of my friend Ashwin Opalava. We have a great conversation over that thing only, how we are taking transferring our leadership to our next generation, or making our team structure like that. So I just say, after you have built off your team, talk to them and try to give them opportunity to do those events. What we do actually in initial, when we start off community, we have to do everything. Like I have to make content, I have to make posters, I have to do everything. So that's not how a leader works. In initial terms, when there is no core team, you can say, that's okay, you can go with each and everything that you are doing, because as a community founder, you can say, a leader, you have everything, have anxiety, I have to do everything, but after a moment when you built off your team, try to make it transfer to your team members, so that they can trust your team members. That's what I will say. Trust is really important. Trust your team members, and they will like do everything just to guide them. And it's a like after it create you can say a life cycle created for your core team, then it's just like a mentoring kind of thing, and it will goes on and on and on. But it still needs some, you can say some, if there's some errors, you have to find out. So it's like a product life cycle, you have to go by that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Thank you so much for the detailed answer. And cool. So yeah, these this is definitely helpful. Someone asked in the chat, can you describe what MLH actually does? I'm glad you asked this question, because I just got a chance to promote MLH. I talk about MLH in general. So basically, all of you who are here and not sure about what MLH is, so MLH is MLH is MLH. I just fumbled. I'm not sure why. All right. Let's do a retake. So basically, MLH is a company that helps students. That is famous for students hackathons, and we do hackathons almost every single week. There are digital hackathons there, and then there are some physical hackathons. You may see a lot of student chapters. A lot of student hackathon communities and you may see a lot of people in a lot of students that are associated with MLH in one way or other. We have like coaches, we have like hackathon organizers, etc. And we also have this another department, which is a fellowship department, which basically known as MLH Fellowship. I'm quickly going to share the links if in case anyone here is not sure about what MLH is, so feel free to visit the links for more information. And yeah, I would highly encourage everyone to check out the fellowship as well. It's basically a 12 weeks internship alternative where you get a chance to work on real world projects that can definitely help you to in your career. So yeah, that is about MLH and MLH fellowship. All right. And again, those of you who are watching us, if you have any question about communities, anything as a campus students, anything as a career, anything about career, so feel free to ask in the chat. We have a couple of more questions. So yeah, again, thanks Karthike for the detailed answer. Moving on to the next question. How did how did I mean, all of you are spend pretty much a pretty good time in communities. So how did your community, or how the programs that you are part of, or the work that you did in the communities, helped you with your career? Did, like, for example, for me, my work as a community helped me to make more connections, and those connections helped me to get my job. My first job, my first internship, was as a result of my one of my connection that I made 2 years ago, 1 year ago. So basically, I can say that the community helped me to get my first internship, and it also helped me to get my full-time job, which is what I do at MLH Fellowship. So that is also something I got from the communities. So anyone else who has a similar experience, anything about career that you got through the communities?
I can share. Yeah. So for me, actually, there are like a lot of opportunities that I gathered from these tech communities. So the first one was like really, really interesting. So I was into this program by Google, Developer Student Club, and I met Arsalan from that program, by the way. I wrote this like really a small software to automate the events registration. So the developers and clubs were using that software, and we had like one of the dinner, the DSC dinner in Karachi, and there were like a lot of GDs, GDGs were there, and students were talking about that small software that I wrote. It was just a bot, and one of the company that I worked with previously, the CTO was there, the VP engineering. So they got to know about me through that, and then when I reached home, I woke up the next day and I got the call from the HR that, hey, do you want to apply to this job right here? I was the student at that time, and I was like, okay, I can try. And I just went for the interview. I did the interview, and it was like the COVID times, everything is shut down, and the university is online. So I got the job, by the way. And then I worked for them for like around 6 to 8 months, and then I got busy in my final year project. And by the way, interestingly, I recently joined this company, the new company in Singapore, cargo based, 3 months back. So I asked the HR today, say, how do you know about me? Like, how did you approach me on LinkedIn? Because they approached me on LinkedIn for the job. So the HR replied that we just search for the keywords, and you were like pretty active into the communities and all. You were hosting events, and we got to know about you through that, and we thought that you're really a passionate person for our team. And I was like, oh, this really helped me a lot. And yeah, this was like really something that I wanted to share. And it's something that Khatak is also like made by communities. It's actually a term that we use here generally. So I'm also a person who is made by communities, and there are like a lot of really good example right here in our friend circle who got these really, really amazing opportunities, and who are like executing really good initiatives right now through these tech communities. And yeah.
Awesome. Another very good example. Anyone else who wants to share anything? If you got a job, or if you found someone to your communities, some very interesting or very valuable network, anything like that.
So,
Maybe I can share. Yeah, sure.
yes, you can share.
No, go Lavinia, go
It's
Lavinia. Yeah.
okay, it's okay. So, in my case, like my hackathon hack girl made me join the scientific community, which is known to be so close. I had the opportunity to transform my hackathon as a study case for a paper. So I was able to publish this paper, and then I joined some mentoring sessions and talk with amazing people, like people that's been researching about software engineer for a long, long time. Some of them even before I was born. And this is the type of opportunities that if I didn't try to do a community, to do a event, I wouldn't have, because I didn't knew I could join a scientific community and try to publish papers and be able to do a master's degree, so was especially important for my journey. And right now I'm trying to apply for a PhD, and that wouldn't happen if I didn't do the Hacker Girl and the hackathon.
Awesome, awesome. What do you, Karthike?
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Ashwin. I guess Ashwin is in the chat, so shout out to him. So yeah. My those who know, I am also like ex-developer advocate at Postman. So my journey about Postman is like that. First I become a Postman student expert over there. So there is a certification about the basics of APIs and on Postman platform. From that, I become Postman student leader, and we are basically, yeah, it's a basically a campus program, like you can say GitHub Campus Expert, where we are basically advocating API literacy on our campuses. And so I beach in you can say included through API Fest that is done by Postman student program team. And after that, suddenly like they approaches me about that, like we love you about the work that you are doing in the community, and especially Postman student leader, Postman student Discord server, you are handling that stuff. So they approaches me, so I did, I guess, 4 to 5 kind of interviews. And as most of the interviews know me because I am at the Discord, so it's like a fun kind of interaction, not an interview actually. So that's actually what the community helps you. If sometimes it's like, if you are, if anyone interviewing you, so you don't know, so what kind of question you can expect, you don't know. But if maximum interviewer, because through community, because you are active in community, they know your work, and even I know them, you can say. So it's just a kind of personal connect adds to that. And that's also helped in many times when we say networking thing. Like if I say Kunal, so like I have an interaction with through the community thing that I was doing with him at that point. So it's also always helped to boost in your career. So yeah, same thing happened with me when I got a devil internship at Turing. So they all things, when HR approaches me, same with it's happened same, exactly same like Rahil. It's like, so they approaches me and they say like, why you selected me, like how you like got me through LinkedIn. So he said, they said basically, like we search about some keywords and you are in the top of the list because you're doing the events and the DevRel stuff. So so yeah, like that's why we approaches you over that. So yeah, you can say the community helps you more, you can say boost that thing in your career. Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, Zainab.
Yeah, I have major FOMO, so I don't want to miss out on this. So I've not started working yet. I hope to very soon. Um, I would say community helped me in the college level itself, like right now. One thing would be MLH. When I talk about community, I talk mainly about MLH because I've been like heavily invested mainly on MLH, right? So one thing I learned various technologies like so MLH has sponsor prizes in the hackathons, so I tend to learn about these technologies, I tend to learn about these platforms because of those hackathons, right? And then whether if it's a group project at college or any other project, I can directly apply it there. Yeah. Another thing would be these hackathons. Like I would spend 1 week studying basic OOP concepts or some database thing, and the weekend that I spend participating in hackathon would be much more effective, much more effective in understanding the concepts we discuss in college, and also in building those soft skills like leadership and all of that. So I'll say joining community like right now gives if gives benefits like right now. Like if you join a hackathon this weekend, when you go back to college on Monday, when you go back to class on Monday, you will immediately feel those effects, right? You don't have to wait for a lot of time. You will feel the sense of higher understanding because everything is connected at the end, right? This database, there's front end, there is DevOps, and all of it is actually connected together. So the sooner you join in, like this weekend, tomorrow you can join in a hackathon, and Monday you will become a new person at college. Like I'm literally saying that. So yeah, that would be about not a job, but yeah.
Awesome. Hackathons are definitely a great way to learn new things quickly while also making connections. Cool. So we got a couple of questions in the chat. Maybe we can pick that. So someone is asking, I'm currently a beginner and I do not I don't know after what level will I become an expert in it and knowledgeable to share my knowledge. I want to start a developer blog, but I feel hesitated as I don't have as much info as the people whom I see on YouTube and other platforms. Um, so anyone who wants to take on this, anyone who maybe has a kind of similar experience about this and want to share something on that, yes, Raheel?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So this is actually a really good question. So as a student, that I know that all of us have faced this thing that am I good enough, or should I share my things on social medias and all. So the initial thing is you are never good enough, but what you have to do is you have to keep sharing your stuff, because you don't have to be like a pro to teach anyone. You can just teach someone the things that you know about, and by teaching you are actually looking at those things really really in detail, and which makes you really good. And so the best learning that I did in maybe like programming or my university courses is by teaching other students, because I got to know about that particular thing because they ask questions. And when their like particular minds are asking questions, so then you become curious, okay, so what could be the answer of that particular thing, and then you get to learn about that particular thing. So this is something that, and you can still like share whatever, like if you're a beginner, you get to know about loops for like at a really beginner levels. Yes, so you can just share your perspective on that, how loops work. Maybe there are like particular students that share similar mindset. They will get those concepts from your mindset and not from their teachers or someone. So it's always good to share anything that you have. And also the big confidence boost that you can get as a student is making projects and working on something like, you don't have to like code a whole portfolio. You don't have to code a full back end, front end, and cloud app. You can just code whatever you want. Like it could be a maybe GPA calculator, or it could be a like something which is actually can be seen on the internet, so which will give you like really really good boost, and you would be consistent towards it, and it will give you a kick that okay, this is something that I am doing, and maybe I should do something more after that. So this is the confidence that you'd be getting through it. So yeah, make projects, and yeah, just do what you're doing, and don't hesitate of sharing it. So yeah, that was my take on it.
Awesome. Just to add to that, there is always going to be different type of audience. So if in case you learn 5 sentences, there will be some people who knows 4 sentences. You can teach that one extra sentence to them. Similarly, if you know if you just learn one extra concept, there are going to be people who do not know about that concept. So even though if you are very beginner, you can always share that teaching with that concepts with other, and those people who do not know about those things will definitely learn from you. And that is how you grow, how you learn more about these things. And I highly encourage everyone to write developer blogs, make content through videos, public speaking, etc. Because when you get into teaching others, you learn more. Because when you get into this, when you try to share the content with others, you try to learn more with that, because you have to first understand that well, and to do that you have to do some research, and that is how you learn things in a much better way. And with that, moving on to the next question. This is a very good question. Um, can you give can you give some tips on how to manage everything with college? Something which probably almost all of us have experienced, and this is, I think, very very common issue. Um, Time management. So anyone who wants to take this question?
Yeah, I just want to add on the previous questions about the blog. The experience you get when you start off, the beginner step is you can actually channel that to write better blogs. Because I assure you, there are people getting into this with like, okay, these blogs are like really advanced. There's so much advanced thing. But when you go in as a beginner, your journey from figuring things out as a beginner is very much more effective than when you are like advanced on that technology and then you try to explain. Because when you go as a beginner, everything is new, and when you write blogs regarding that, that will actually give better reach and better understanding on what the blog is. So use that beginner stage of whatever technology you are trying to decipher. Use that beginner stage to channel it into writing blog. Like, that's one thing I keep regretting most, is not writing more blogs when I was yet a beginner, right? And the second question about managing everything, um, literally, the Google, when you're talking about practical tips, Notion, I've come to like jot down things on Notion, jot down things on ClickUp, and I just can't believe I come up to a stage where I need these like Google Calendar and these alarm systems to actually remind me, okay, I have this next, I have that next. So yeah, so use those project management tools. They are actually really helpful. And actually use it as a way to, like, I've come up at a stage in my life that I have to use it to manage my, be at that level of working hard, putting effort. Another thing I would say is working out. Working out, you we think it actually reduces our energy, but working out actually gives us better energy to work on the whole day. Like, on the days I work out, I'm more energized than on the days I don't work out. So try to keep working out consistent, whether if it's 30 minutes, just work out that gets your heart accelerating and make you sweat, and then take a good wash, and then get back to work. That 30 minutes or even 45 minutes, even home workouts, very effective, very useful. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Zainab. You shared a very great point about workout and health, which is oftentimes get ignored, but it should not be. And about managing everything with college, again, and Notion and calendar, etc. Those are really amazing tools. I also use all of these. It makes one's life very easy. What I do is I try not to memorize anything. For example, if there is going to be an event, I just put that into calendar, and calendar can notify me on time, so I do not need to remember that. Similarly, if I'm in the meeting, I do not need to memorize the points. I just put down in the calendar. So this way, I'm not memorizing anything, but rather putting everything on somewhere, either Google Docs, Notion, Google Calendar, and alarms, etc. And apart from that, one other thing is, in a college, oftentimes people struggle with having a limited time, and of course, everyone has limited time, because especially in the college, because you have to spend like 5 hours at least, doing studying and taking classes. So which means you have a very limited hours. So please make sure that you take only those things which you are really passionate about. Be careful about what you prioritize and what you take on, because eventually, if you start taking and signing up for almost everything, you may eventually end up with a lot of things, and that may be overwhelming, and you may be drained out. So be careful about what you sign up for. Only sign up for those things which you are really passionate about. And while you're signing up, keep the time aspect in mind, if you have enough time and energy, because college is something that takes a lot of your time and energy. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for everyone. And yeah, I think we can wrap up the session. We are already beyond we went beyond 60 minutes. So yeah, with that, just one last quick question for everyone. if everyone can share where they are most active and their username. So I can start with me as an example. I'm most active on Twitter as well as on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. Basically, Instagram is my most famous, is where I am most active, and my handle is Kharak Dev, and it's the same on every platform, either LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, etc. And everyone else, if you can share where you're most active, if in case someone wants to reach out to you and make a connection and ask what's your handle.
I prefer LinkedIn or Twitter, even though like I'm majorly this is a common handle that I created, Carry Cool Dude so called. But yeah, you can find me like generally at every platform because I created it every year. So you can reach out me like Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. I prefer Twitter, but like you can reach out me these handle also. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes, go ahead.
So for me, I mostly use mostly active on LinkedIn, and I'm starting to use Twitter as well these days. But yeah, you can get to know about me on my personal Dafolia, which is rahilsiddiqui.com, which is I coded on Vue.js actually while learning. I hate front end, man. But yeah, you can just reach out to me there and connect me and share if you want to share anything or ask. So yeah.
Cool. I mean, yeah.
I'm more active on LinkedIn. This is my GitHub handle, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram with Lavinia Paganini. And it's linked on my GitHub if you want to go there.
Cool. Sign up.
Yeah, I'm active on Twitter, kind of active. I used to be very, but now not so. Zainab Fahim 9, that's my Twitter handles. My DMs are open on if you have any questions, anything you want to discuss about, any collab you can discuss about. Yeah.
Cool. And thanks again, everyone, for joining. Thanks all the speakers, all the guests, and also all of the audience who are still watching us. So thank you, everyone, for joining, and thank you for listening to us, and thank you for asking the questions, and thank you all the speakers and guests for sharing your amazing experience and insights on this. So hope to see you again next time. Till then, have a great day, or evening, or midnight, depends on wherever you're living. Bye, folks.